Happy Tuesday, everybody. This is your favorite crypto trading show. Sorry we missed you yesterday. We were busy talking to someone on the other side of the world, getting some good news, and something that we want to talk about with you guys this morning is exactly what is in the title. Ethereum issuance massively dropped by 98.4%. So what's next? So we're going to dive into that here in just a moment. We'll catch that probably right around the time that we're talking about the news. But first, B. Wellington, good morning.
Hey, I'm not already on the charts. What happened? I'm
You
still
just
working
haven't
my way.
clicked. You haven't clicked the share button. We all know where you're at.
Well, you're right. I have been on the charts, but I also wanted to pull up a couple things here first to share with you guys and talk about something interesting while I do all this.
Ooh, we like
Share,
interesting.
share, share your thoughts on the world at hand. What do you think about the Fed? That's what everybody's talking about.
I don't know. Why don't you share
You, but you know
what?
what
Why don't
everybody's
you
talking about
share?
right now? To be honest with you, E-
What is everyone talking?
everybody's everybody is talking about.
Going long?
Yes, everybody thinks that everybody's short right now, right? And so they're on crypto Twitter, which I unfortunately look at
Some poor
it.
souls are about to go
Yeah,
long
some
right now.
Dog, I mean, like the point of everybody's talking about this bear market rally, which I'm not saying that a bear market rally not gonna is not gonna happen. But I mean, looking at the liquidity, I mean, the
Negative.
futures are actually right now looking magnificent. The futures market's looking magnificent right now. But I just don't see it. And now, thank you for waiting for that brief
We've
moment
been
of time.
waiting very
Actually, now,
patiently.
actually now, I'll get into the chart.
Oh,
So
look at
this is
that.
the So here we go, just a bunch of lines on a chart, right? So we are this is the hourly. We'll skip over the daily just because the daily is going to tell us the same things. But we've had this move, well, and we don't have all of our indicators here. That's a bummer. Let me see something here.
Why you just hit the back button?
Hit the back button.
Are you looking for an indicator?
Yeah, I'm look. Well, my trader's reality
Yeah,
indicator
you
isn't
just keep going back till it pops up, bro. You must have
like
deleted it.
what here.
Yeah,
Here. No, I didn't delete it. It just sometimes it doesn't.
show up.
Yeah, like it stalls or something. Here, let me just put it back on. And we got all kind of shit going on this morning. There we go. That's a sloppy looking chart.
Not really. You should see mine.
uh, let's see. All right, so this is the hourly. I mean, we've had this move that came up. Of course, the daily open last night moved up as well. We're within this range.
Oh,
We
everyone's
still
playing that
haven't broke.
breakout from the 50 and the 200 right there.
Dog, I mean, we haven't this right here. I mean,
We
we've hit it
hadn't even
once,
broke it.
twice, wicked it, haven't broken it. Looks like it wants to break it again. It's dropped down. Notice we haven't gotten to the 50. We haven't gotten to the pivot point. Technically speaking, we've got the psychological high and psychological low below us. And I'll tell you what normally happens. Doesn't always happen. What normally happens is when you get these vectors that come off, especially moving off of an EMA, you got a lot of folks that went long in this particular area. And therefore, it normally comes back and retests this area, kind of a double tap in that area. I mean, it kind of already did it here, as well. So it kind of came back, tapped, moved back up. But because we have vectors in this side here, I would imagine that we come back, especially with yesterday's low, psychological high, psychological low, still within this range that we come back into this area, retest not only the 50, but the 200, maybe dip below, try to get some of the guys that went long on this move. It all depends. I mean, they're talking about a lot of short volume that's out there. I mean, short volume has been out there, but it's not as it's well, at least the charts that I'm looking at, it's much greater on the long side. But we have the 800 EMA. I've got this box marked up here, which is also kind of this level here to where possibly can get up into this 800 EMA. So we're either going to go, I know this is the either or, but we're either going to head back down and retest this area. We're going to come back up into this 800 EMA and probably reject off of that 800 EMA. So really deciding on what he wants to do first. But we do have a huge amount of positivity on the futures market for the traditional stock market. So we'll have to see how that goes. But we're just bouncing off of here at the daily open. We kind of came down, touched a little bit, but again, indicator wise, we're kind of still in the middle of this range. So it's not really a great trade either way, even though with us testing this area so many times, I would fade this area and probably put a stop up here above this 800 if, kind of depending on what we're at. But if we do move above this last week's high, which is 1345, I mean, don't expect us to get too much higher than this 1365 unless we get a huge amount of volume that really starts to come into play, which I haven't seen so far. My volume indicator is now not here either. So. But it's neither here nor there. We got all kind of shit going on here. This has been a kind of a
That one.
great.
No, that
Yeah,
one.
here we go. Yeah, so here we go. So if you look at the volume, and the volume's not really hasn't been. We've got a couple of these positive vector candles, but look at all the negative candles that they come in, which we could get some positive volume that comes in to continue to push price up. But I mean, if you just look at it overall, just doesn't, it's not a lot of volume that's coming into the chart, which is surprising, but not surprising. I mean, if we look at OI, $5.9 billion. So we've built a little bit of OI here, not too much. As you can see, it's kind of oscillating with price, which would indicate to me that we've probably got some longs that are coming on board. We've got Binance twice. Like Binance has their own stable coin now, so they put this on here as well. Bybit being negative funding, all that looks like it wants to go up. But again, I really don't see it. Here's this other chart I've got here, which is the Binance
Top of the
as well on the
Bollinger
15
Band right
minute.
there too.
I mean, we're in there. But as you can see, we had this big move up in OI, and so we've kind of come back down into it. So as price has gone up, to me, yeah, this looks like people are going short somewhat. I mean, you've got this negative CVD that's coming down as well. But I would expect, but look at all these positive orders that are coming in here on the right side. It's kind of a it's a 50-50 day. You really needs to wait and react to what actually happens versus trying to front run the trade would be my recommendation for today. But again, if we look at futures, look at that Dow Jones, S&P, Nasdaq's really looking like it's going to explode on the open, which is going to happen in about 8 minutes. Oil is down as well. So have we reached a critical point in time where we're going to start moving to the upside? Possibly. I mean, this would indicate that we're going to have a strong open. But what happens when we have those strong opens? A lot of times those will fade on the close. But, if we come back into we've got Empire State Manufacturing Index at negative 9.1, negative 5.0 was the median forecast. So this is way off, right? And this may
What
let me read
exactly
this
is that?
article.
Probably.
Third straight negative reading. So New York factory activity stumbles. So this is New York factory activity. So this just shows that from producer, kind of the producer price index, this kind of falls in line with that we continue to see negativity or slowing down relative to the market that was yesterday. Then we got industrial unchanged. This production index, again, not too familiar with that, but not anything I think is going to affect the market per se. We've got housing starts on Wednesday, jobless claims. I mean, this is going to be what people are really looking at. Coming over to the next week. Let's see, just kind of looking at, you got new home sales, consumer confidence index, real most real gross domestic product, 27th next week. Next Friday, the 28th, is probably going to be, we got PCE coming out, core PCE. So that's probably going to be the most important data that we have coming out in the next couple of weeks. So Friday, October 28th, we'd be looking for that. And then that's the end of the month as well. So everybody's also expecting a rally end of month as well. I mean, this is just from a seasonal standpoint, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see how all that works. But not too much going on today. I mean, it's a Tuesday. We're kind of in the middle of the range, uh, but really not seeing too much from a chart perspective. Not really a lot of good trades, out there in my opinion. We're kind of in the middle of the range. So if you want to take a chance on it, we've been bumping up on that. We've been bumping up on the, kind of the area we talked about, this 1342. We've been kind of bumping onto this area. So if we get a breakout from there, it doesn't snap back into this area, may even come back up into these ranges as well, which is kind of at 1378. I mean, I think 1400 is really the next significant peak, even though we got this peak here. This is at 1384. So if it breaks out, you might want to take, somewhat of a long, but we're probably going to come and retouch this area anyway, even if it breaks out. So you might want to wait and then see what happens when it comes back to this area, because potentially when it does retrace, I see it really coming back into this 1300s, 1310 type area. We'll have to see. I mean, I know it wasn't very exciting, but that's what I got on my end. What's going on with you, Colette? You want to talk about that article?
Yeah, man. Let me get it pulled up, and we can definitely chit chat about it. So caught this morning. Thought it'd be interesting to talk about. So basically, after the merge happened last month, uh, typically in this time, we would normally see about $500 million worth of ETH hitting the market. However, we have only got 8.5 million, which is a 98% decrease in volume into the market, which will definitely helps us understand why we've been in areas where we really haven't seen just a heck of a whole lot of price movement. And then you can look even a little bit further down here, and it talks about that the network passed its issuance peak after the merge update, and now it's become negative, and the majority of the coins are being burned instead of distributed among miners. So let's have a real like a real realistic chat about that, B. Wellington. So if we're burning more coins than what's being produced, then obviously um, there's less coins out on the market per se. So do you think with that happening that we could see price move upwards, and just because of the scarcity of the coin?
Yeah, I mean, look, so you've got, I can kind of compare this more to the halving that Bitcoin normally gets. And, this is the first big merge, that's out there. So, yeah, I think it could affect pricing in a positive way if demand starts to pick up for the coin. So the question is as demand has slowed down, and obviously it has, because we've had such a some price decreases. I mean, we did have a little bit of a rally a couple months ago, but in my opinion, demand still got to be there, volume still got to come in. You know, I think everybody's still looking for that bottom. So for people to come in and buy right now, I mean, I think with the macro environment that's out there. So the question is, yeah, the answer is yes. I think it'll be positive in the short term. I'm not too sure about that. I think we'll have some rallies that are up there, and then people will use this kind of information to say, okay, the price is moving up, and then you'll get some guys that decide that they want to buy lower, and then they'll dump price and they'll buy it lower. So always be cautious on these kind of things. I mean, again, Bitcoin has the same, as far as from a scarcity standpoint, even though this is kind of that, this is the big hit on Ethereum anyways, that you can't really know what the total supply is.
Mm-hmm.
But and then also there's a lot of altcoins that are out there that are competing with the, as well, that, where money can flow into. But we'll see. But I think long term positive, short term, I think people are still waiting for the next leg down.
Well, um, let's see what the other charts say to see if maybe we can find something out here. So let me change my windows here, and we will jump on High Block Capital.
Well, I see high
So,
block right now. Yep.
do you see it now?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so as you can see, we're on the upper side of the range, signaling that we have, let's see, $3.8 billion in long liquidations. I mean, short liquidations. So we are a little heavy to the upside. However, guys, you know, it's not uncommon to see this thing get all the way up to 15 billion, one way or the other. So there is a possibility that we could continue moving up. We do have that 800 EMA that B. Wellington mentioned to that is above us. But what I see here is I see this big gap, and this gap needs to get filled. So I would definitely expect that we're not really going to see just a heck of a whole lot of price action today. Could be wrong, but I think we're just basically going to be ranging around the 1350s down in the 1300s and just kind of ranging in there. However, if we do break out of one of those areas, I do expect that we'll start actually getting some momentum to that direction. So again, 1300, 1350s ranging because there's a lot of open space here, and they usually like to really fill those gaps in before they start making moves. So let's jump over here to Bookmap real quick and see what that looks like. As far as that's current right now, what we're seeing on the order flow book. As you can see, we're slightly weighted to the upside as far as orders go, and we are getting that movement to the upside. Market just opened a minute ago. This is exactly how B. Wellington said these things normally play out. Market pre-market was up. We're moving up, so we'll see how far we get up. So let's back this off real quick and get a little bit bigger view of where long-term liquidity is. So we have some stuff at 1390 that has been hanging out. But right now the big area is that 1340 area, 1350 that I was just talking about. So we need to pay attention if we break out of that before we get some higher prices. Because that's also going to break the area of yesterday's peak on the last highest peak that we have. So that would be a potential breakout. So you breakout traders, do get ready. As you can see, they just flipped some orders right here. They're flipping them around now to even maybe start pulling this back down. So again, I really think we're just going to see a range today. I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of price action going today, other than a couple of, the $50 moves that I was talking about. So if you're able to get in and catch those, congratulations. Be careful and stay frosty out there today, my friends. That's all I got on my end.
I'm good on my end as well. I've told you what I thought, and I think really, even though we've got a lot of anticipation for today, I mean, it could move to the upside, but I just don't see the liquidity.
So we're both in agreement that we're just gonna have a rangy day.
Rangy day, yeah. We're playing within the lines.
Well, I'll put it to you like this, guys. If we're both saying that, you can count it as good as gold. So play those trades good today. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Until next time. Amen.